Good morning. My name's Neil Davis from the Form Pro rating site, and with the help of David Archibald, who is the brains behind the Form Pro rating site and the Form Pro site, we've developed the sectionals in addition to all the speed maps, replays, speed ratings and lots of other information that punters of greyhounds and gallopers can access. I thought I would this morning just touch on how the sectionals found some winners at Auckland yesterday, and so I'll just go through I've got four races here that you could have found the winners using the recent sectionals. So in the first race at Auckland yesterday, we had down here the result of the race, Nangar Panther. So if we click on him, we will see his that was yesterday's win. Three starts back, 1, 2, 3 on September the 17th. If we click on his race start there and bring up the race, there is the result. If we click on the sectionals tab, we'll bring up the sectionals for that race, and you can see Nangar Panther ran a closing sectional of 13.86. How did that compare on the day? Now, he's a class 2 dog on a class 2 race, so obviously it'd be good to compare to better class races on the day. Click on there, 13.86, and you can see it was actually the second fastest closing sectional all day. Smarty Marty was the third fastest, a maiden dog, so he's obviously got ability. Maximum Express was also another winner yesterday. So 13.86 ranked really well amongst the better class dogs. So you knew he was a good dog. All he had to do was begin well, which he did, and he won easily. So that was one there that could have been found quite easily. Drew out and he mapped to, if he jumped well, to win that race. So 390 was good money, and there was a good couple of $1,000 bet on him at fixed odds as well. Race 5, he's a man. It was a bit harder to find, but if you dug deep into his sectionals, he won and paid $540 yesterday. Click on his name and go down to his recent starts. That was his win yesterday, and last Sunday he ran 5th and only an average time. But let's have a look at his closing sectional. Here's the key. There's the race there. He finished 5th, and his sectionals, he actually ran, even though he's 5th, 14.76, which is really good closing sectional. And how did that compare with other dogs on the day? Remember, he's a class 2-3 dog in that race. It was actually the fastest closing sectional all day, better than the C5 dogs. So he obviously was in strong form. All he had to do was get the right run, and he drew box 2, and which was obviously a good box for him, one from there before, and at $5 he was good value. All he had to do was get a reasonable run. He did actually. He jumped only averagely, but got a nice one up through and behind the leaders, and won really well. And again, there was another good punt on him as well. So maybe that punter is using the sectionals to find his winners. Race 7 yesterday. Maximum Star, really good dog. 10 starts at this course for 4 wins and 4 placings. Good strong rating figures. Let's have a look. He won and paid $4.90, and let's have a look at his previous starts to see if his sectionals gave us a hint there. So at his last start, you can see he closed off nicely. So how good was his closing sectional? There's the race there. Click on the sectionals up there, and he actually ran a 13.89 behind Wong All Wong. So that 13.89, how did that compare on the day? There it is there. So Wong or Wong was the best. There was Nangar Panther who won. Smarty Marty's obviously got ability. Maximum Express ran the 4th fastest closing sectional all day. So all he had to do was jump, which he did, and he was going to be really hard to beat, and he won well. Let's go back, and there's one more race, race 11. There's a dog I was actually quite keen on. Race 11, just because of his early speed. All he had to do was jump and be really hard to beat. It's on a bit of a go slow at the moment. Here we are, race 11. Number 2, Highland Laddie. You won and paid $7.20 from obviously a favoured box. 3 wins from 5 starts. And the track 38 starts for 11 wins and 9 placings. And it rated strongly recently. So let's have a look at his sectionals there. Okay, so on August the 27th, when he won, when he won there, he had an opening sectional of 4.59. How did that compare on the day? Okay, that was down a wee bit, but not too far behind the fastest one, Just One Smile, and those there. So he obviously had the early speed to lead out, and his closing sectionals and at his last start. Let's have a look at his last week's win. How did his closing sectionals compare? Okay, so closing section of 14.01. He actually led there and held on. So 14.01. There it is there. So right behind, right up with the best ones on the day. And the closing sectionals, opening sectionals rather. Highland Laddie 4.53, second fastest all day. So you knew he was right on form. Opening and closing sectionals were strong. So the $7 I thought was pretty good value. And he mapped on the speed map to be first or second out, and he ended up leading out and just holding on. But I don't care what they win by, as long as they win, they still pay the same. So $7, good money. Okay, so there's 4 winners there, just using the sectionals. There's lots of other information there, speed maps. Make sure you look at the statistics. That gives you a good overall, plenty of information there too in the summary. Box stats since January the 1st 2011, so that's 6 years of data. Box 1 is the best strike rate, and box 8's not too far behind, and box 2, even box 4, so it's not too bad. If you'd drawn box 6, you're in trouble. This is over the sprint distance. And position at first marker. Obviously if you're leading the first marker here, 45% of dogs lead at the first marker and go on to win, and the dog that is second at the first marker, 20% go on to win. So 2 and 3 dogs, if they're first or second at that first marker, go on to win the race. Okay, so lots of information there. The predictor, that takes into account lots of information. Highland Laddie was predicted to come second, and 2, 7 and 8, 2, 1 there, 7 and 8. Often the top 5 dogs are pretty strong in the predictor for the trifectas, and you can often strike some good trifectas just by including those top 5 dogs in various combinations. Anyway, hope that helps. Use the ratings, and hopefully you can if you get any good winners from the sectionals, email me formpro@formpro.co.nz or text 027 352 6402 and let me know if you found any good winners, well, any ways that you like to use the ratings. Lots of ways you can use them, and good to share any ideas too. So thanks very much for listening, and good punting.